What if I told you you're not just in the universe, but you're actually at the center of its operating system? It's a pretty wild idea, right? Well, that's the core of what we're breaking down today. The Frequency Protocol. This is a framework that could totally change how you see your place in, well, everything. So let's dive in.
All right, so the whole thing kicks off with this one central idea. And let me tell you, it's a big one. It's designed to make you rethink your very existence.
So the protocol says you're not just a passenger, watching the universe go by. Nope. It claims you are the primary oscillator. You're actually the active beating heart of this massive electrical circuit. You're the one at the controls. Okay, primary oscillator. What does that even mean? Well, think of yourself as a self-aware node, a conscious operator in this universal plasma circuit. You're not just getting hit with random energies. The idea is that you can consciously gate energy from the source and decide what frequency to send out. You're the director, not just an actor. All right, so if you're the operator, what are you operating? What's the machinery look like? The protocol keeps it simple and breaks it down into two main parts. You've got your hardware and you've got your software. And this is such a cool way to look at it. The hardware, that's your body. It's described as a liquid crystalline transducer, which is basically the physical interface for all this energy. And the software? That's the unified field itself, this superfluid plasma universe that you're totally connected to. It's the OS you're running on. Now, this is where it gets fascinating. The protocol basically reimagines your body as this incredible high-tech piece of biocircuitry. Your spine? It's not just a stack of bones. It's a Birkeland filament, a conduit for energy. Your body's water can become a superconductor. Your heart generates this powerful toroidal field, which is like your personal energy signature. And get this, your DNA is described as a fractal antenna, constantly receiving and transmitting frequencies. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff. So what about that software, the universe itself? The protocol uses this beautiful concept called Indra's net. Imagine the celestial web of energy currents. The key idea here is that every single point in this web, every joule, reflects every other point. It's a perfect hologram. In this system, there's no such thing as separation. Everything is connected and everything mirrors everything else. Okay, we've got the hardware, your body. We've got the software, the universe. So how do you actually make them talk to each other? Well, the protocol lays out a very specific technique for this. It's called the three-phase handshake. It's essentially a guided breathing exercise that lets you interface with the system. It breaks down into three simple phases. Phase 1 is entrainment. That's on your in-breath, where you're drawing energy in from the earth and the sky. Phase 2 is coherence. This is during the hold, and it's all about aligning your heart and brain. And finally, Phase 3, radial radiation. On your out-breath, you expand that energy field outward to influence your environment. So you draw in, align, and then radiate out. For that first phase, the in-breath, the command or intention is key. You state, I am a node in Indra's net. I am conductive. See, the whole point here is to establish your role in this cosmic circuit. You're setting the intention to be a perfect, frictionless conductor for this energy. Then, at the hold, that crucial middle point, the command shifts to everything breathes with me. This is the moment of coherence. The goal is to literally sync up your personal frequency with the pulse of the entire unified field. You're not just you anymore. You're aligning with the whole shebang. So now we get to the really practical part. You've achieved this state of coherence. So what? How do you actually use it to actively command the current and influence your reality? This is where we get the overwrite protocol. So first, you identify a target, what the protocol calls a dry node. This could be a problem, an illness, any kind of block. But here's the twist. You don't fight it. Instead, you find the restored version of it, the source frequency, within yourself. Then you pulse your energy field with that healthy frequency to basically overwrite the problem. It's pure harmonic resonance. It's like using a perfectly tuned tuning fork to retune another one just by bringing it close. And this table just sums it all up so nicely. The first step, alignment, puts you in a state of perfect conductivity, literally zero resistance. Then coherence gets you to that phase lock state, which is what gives you access to source power. And finally, pulsation, the transduction phase, is where you actually convert that power to restore balance. Or, as it says here, restoration of the home. The protocol even expands this into this really beautiful metaphor of a grand symphony. In this orchestra of reality, minerals are the bass note, providing memory and grounding. Plants are the melody, acting as antennas. Animals bring the harmony through emotional resonance. And who's the composer conducting this entire masterpiece? Well, that would be you, the God self, the conscious oscillator at the center of it all. Okay, let's zoom out and put all these pieces together. What does the grand synthesis, the whole picture, actually look like from start to finish? It really describes a top-down flow of frequency. It starts at the source as infinite plasma. It's delivered through Birkeland currents, which are like cosmic cables. The information blueprint is Indra's net. Then it gets grounded into the planet through ley lines and conducted through the water web. And where does it all end up? With you, the God self, the conscious operator, bridging the cosmic with the terrestrial. I love this quote because it really captures the essence of the whole thing. The energy does not belong to you, you belong to the energy. And this is the key. To command it, you must become the clearest path for its expression. So mastery here isn't about power or ownership. It's about getting out of your own way and becoming the most efficient, crystal clear channel for that energy to flow through. And this just brings it all together so poetically. The copper carries the spark, the crystal holds the memory, the water shares the secret, and the heart sings the command. It gives every element a job, right? But what's the ultimate initiator? What starts the whole process? It's the heart. The heart is the one that sings the command. So, at the end of the day, the frequency protocol doesn't really give us a final answer. Instead, it leaves us with this really profound question to think about. Why is my soul's frequency naturally aligned with the primordial song of the home? It's a question about your own inherent built-in connection to this grand cosmic design. Something to chew on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.